Hey, gang, it's March 20th. It's the first day of spring. It also means that taxes are due in less than a month. Tax season really is here. Did your financial advisor pay close attention to the tax consequences of every financial and retirement planning move that you made during the course of the last year? The professionals at the Cordasco Financial Network, Steve and his gang, part of Mercer Advisors, they did, and they're ready to help you. They will help you understand what taxes mean to your bottom line and structure a financial plan for your unique situation, but only if you call and ask them. Tax planning is tax-centric. You've got to make this phone call, 855-558-3500, 855-558-3500. Cordasco Financial Network, a trade name owned by Mercer Global Advisors. Investment advisory services are offered through Mercer Global Advisors, Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. Securities are provided through Andrew Garrett, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Consultation with your personal tax professional, that's always recommended. Time now for the headlines from Smerconish.com, the newsletter. I thought the CNN show was good. Really good.
No question.
Really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really proud of the CNN show on Saturday.
And you would say if you weren't.
And I would. At least I would tell you.
Yes.
So,
and then we'd tell the world.
Yeah, but what I liked about it, first of all, I just have to give you the quick background, is that we had a 4-block show. We do either a 4-block show or a quick 5-block show. It was a 4-block show, and my guests were John Bolton, the former United States ambassador to the United Nations, among other positions. We had a Texas banker named Brad Tidwell, who is the president of Veribank. He's the guy who, in the response, or his response to this whole banking situation with SVB and with Signature Bank, sent out an email with his personal telephone number to like 100,000 of his customers, just to say, if you need me, here I am. You know, you can relax. Your money is safe. So Bolton and Tidwell. Tanish Hollins is the vice chair of that panel in San Francisco pushing for reparations. She was a great radio guest. I had her. And then I had Congressman Tim Ryan, who ran for the Senate in Ohio, lost to J.D. Vance. Namaste. Yes. So those were my 4 guests, right? They were booked early on Friday, allowing me to relax a little bit.
Kind of unusual.
Yeah. Like Friday was a good day, where normally Friday is a crazy day.
Right.
Okay. So now it's Saturday morning. Now it's Saturday morning. And 1 hour in advance of the CNN program, I'm on set. I'm dressed. My noggin's been powdered.
You got the old tie on?
We do a rehearsal. I had the old tie on, tie given to me by my brother in the early 80s. Right. What you didn't see is it only went as far as my belly. I don't know if the tie shrunk or if it was from the junior department.
Wait, or
what?
Or the belly.
Or my belly grew? But if my belly grew, and it has, why would, when I stand up, why would that make it?
I'm just teasing you.
Okay, I mean, like Trump wears his ties down to his knees.
Correct.
Anyway, I'm rehearsing. Catherine, my great producer, tells me in my IFB in the lingo that Caitlin Collins has just broken a story for CNN that Donald Trump says he'll be arrested on Tuesday. And it's like, oh shit, what do we do now? Do we tear up the Bolton segment? And we talked about this, but I didn't want to tear it up,
right?
Because I wanted to talk about Ukraine. He wrote a piece in the Wall Street Journal that caught my eye. Why won't the West let Ukraine win against Russia? So we decided instead that I would talk to Bolton first about Ukraine and then about Trump and the potential that he would be arrested.
But you also led the show saying the Trump news,
yeah,
which I thought was,
I thought we handled it the best that we could.
I agree.
And then when I got to Congressman Ryan, whereas we were going to talk about no labels, looking for ballot access all across the country and Democrats saying they're going to be a spoiler, I talked to him both about Trump and about no labels. So
and you wove in social media reaction to the Trump news throughout the whole show, which I thought also worked.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole thing worked.
So we covered it all. But the Trump story, which, dominates today, is really huge. The question that I'm asking as the poll question of the day today at Smerconish.com is this: will indicting Donald Trump in connection with a 7-year-old hush payment about sex help or hurt his pursuit of the GOP nomination? Notice I said nomination. I didn't say win the presidency. I said nomination. And I am also only talking about this indictment, none from the other, as I put it, 3 buckets of indictment. I mean, they're like 4 different areas where Trump is being looked at, and you've heard me say repeatedly, I think this is the weakest of them. And John Bolton said that prosecutor better have a strong case.
Right.
I mean, I can already see. Let me back up and slow down. So there's question as to whether anything's going to happen tomorrow. There's a witness testifying today.
Right.
This is a witness who is expected to question the credibility of Michael Cohen. Maybe this was all a bluff on the part of Trump, going after Alvin Bragg in advance so that Alvin Bragg says,
hey, look at this. This is going to be
hang on
serious.
a second. Do I really want to do this?
Right.
I'm like, do I want to tangle with this guy in the same way that Ron DeSantis is having to decide if he wants to tangle with this guy? So we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe nothing happens tomorrow. But if it happens tomorrow, what's going to happen? Like others, I mean, the rest of us would have to go in the front door. He'll go in the back door. They will handle this for security reasons. They'll gain him access to the building.
So there won't be a perp walk.
There's not going to be him fighting off, Sherman McCoy style, if you remember Bonfire of the Vanities. No, you're not getting that. You're not getting that. There's going to be an SUV that's going to pull up to the back door of the DA's office. He will, though, have to face a judge. He will enter a plea. He will be fingerprinted.
Wow.
And his mugshot will be taken. But it doesn't necessarily follow that we're going to see a mugshot if there is a mugshot taken, at least not initially. Now, question for you, TC, and you are on camera for YouTube as well as being on the radio
Yes, I am.
As well as being on the radio for SiriusXM's POTUS channel.
Right.
Give me the Trump expression. Show me how he looks for the mugshot. Oh, she's putting her thumbs up. I don't think that. No, I don't think it'll be thumbs up.
Come on.
That's wild.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I made you laugh.
I've asked Danny Savalos to write something for Smerconish.com tomorrow on whether it's ever appropriate to smile for your mugshot.
Oh,
Danny's
it goes down in history.
Danny's like, I'm in. I'll write on that. I don't think you could do a hand gesture because the hand gesture in your North Carolina style would be a different hand gesture.
Not that hand gesture.
If they allow, no, but think about it. Somebody gets arrested. Forget
They're
Trump.
They're going to give people the finger.
They're giving the finger.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. You can't do
so
that.
no hand.
No hand gestures.
Okay, no hand gesture.
Okay.
But what is it?
Like this.
Yeah, it's
the steely glaze.
It's this. Look.
Yeah.
It's the defiant Trump.
Okay.
He's not smiling. He is not smiling. Right. Maybe with a fist he'd want to do, but he can't do a hand gesture. That. And of course, if you saw the thumbnail, as we call it,
come on,
for our YouTube conversation, there's one mugshot that comes to mind, isn't there? Like, it's still amazing. The benchmark.
It's amazing.
And who is it?
So that would be Nick Nolte from 2002. And I was trying to remember what went on for that. And I found this great New York Post piece from 2018 where he wrote about it in his book. Nick Nolte wrote a book, Rebel. And in Rebel, he wrote about the mugshot and the arrest. I'm actually not clear if it was a mugshot. So listen to this.
Yeah.
So evidently he was arrested for reckless driving on the Pacific Coast Highway. And he said at that time he was into drugs and he was taking GHB, which I looked it up, and it's a sedative. So he had taken it to go feel really good and go work out.
A sedative before you work out?
Evidently.
Okay.
So he had taken
there's a problem.
He had taken a big piece, but then he had, instead of going to the gym, he went to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting at a church. But then he said the drug kicked in and he thought it was inappropriate for him to be at the meeting. I don't think he was thinking straight if you see his picture. And so instead he went for a drive and evidently was completely weaving, and 6 people called the cops and he was pulled over. And the local police officer said, "Could I take a picture of you?" And he said, Nick Nolte said, "Well, as long as you share any profits." So I don't even think that was an official mugshot. I think it was just a Polaroid snap of him.
What?
And as he said, it went viral. My hair wild, my expression unsettling, looking like an asylum inmate out for a lark. In 1992, People magazine had me named the sexiest man alive. And now, 10 years later, I look to all the world like a madman.
Wow. You think about other famous mugshots. I just off the top of my head, I think of Sinatra. You've seen that one.
I've seen that on T-shirts.
Yeah, well, okay.
Am I
If there
crazy?
is,
Yeah.
Wait a second. Time out.
Oh.
If there is a Trump mugshot that does enter the public domain,
I think it's on T-shirts on both sides.
Right.
Which side would you put it on?
I'm definitely thinking MAGA people will own it.
Own it.
They will own it.
Yeah. But I think the other side will try to as well, like finally kind of thing.
Well, this gets back to the poll question of the day today, which is if he's indicted in connection with a hush money payment to Stormy Daniels, is that going to be something that helps or hurts him with regard to the nomination?
See, in my mind, I thought that was an obvious answer. And the last time I looked, it was running shockingly close. Shocking.
Elon Musk, his immediate reaction when he tweeted over the weekend is they just insured Donald Trump's nomination, re-election.
I
think he said
a lot of the Twitter traffic that you got on CNN on Saturday was along those same lines. Like, thanks, Alvin Bragg. That's.
And Mark Halpern had a really good analysis on this in his Sunday Wide World of News, saying that a lot of the Democratic partisans just don't understand how this will play. By the way, one other thing, if I may, just about Trump and my conversation with Bolton.
Yes.
So I spoke to John Bolton about this, and I agreed with what he said, which is it better be a strong case. He also, what's objectionable about Trump, as I've been saying and said on television, is he should never have called for protests. He should never have called for
honestly,
protests.
With
immediately, it just
from January 6th.
It just immediately brings up January 6th. Right? It's like a repeat. He learned nothing about January 6th if he's calling for protests.
Or he is completely consistent and maintains that everything he did was not calling for an insurrection in any way. Protests are legal, and a peaceful protest is fine, and that's all that he's doing, and that's all that he did. So maybe he's being completely consistent.
I had two reactions. One, he shouldn't have done it because God forbid there's violence.
Right.
We don't want that for the country.
Right.
Second thing I thought is, are you calling for people to show up in Manhattan? Because I don't know that anybody's rallying. If you show up to have a Texas rally, which I think is his next one, I'm sure there are going to be 5,000 people there. But are you asking for people to come to Midtown Manhattan? And John Bolton made the point that maybe it'll be a dud. And then does it make him look impotent in terms of having called for...
Very impotent?
Right?
Yeah.
He's a very impotent man.
He's a very impotent man.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So it's all interesting.
Why do we like that so much?
I mean, this is just going to be, it's going to be insane.
So he's definitely if this happens, it's definitely happening in New York. But isn't he in Florida, or he's not in Florida? He's in New York.
No, he'll have to come to New York.
He'll have to come to New York.
There are, I'm
That's
sure.
How it works.
Again, though, TC, as of this minute in time, as I'm speaking into this microphone, there's a question here as to whether Trump, through lawyers, really was told you're going to be, first of all, you're going to be charged.
Right.
You don't get arrested without being charged. You're going to be charged and then arrested for Tuesday. Or was this all just Trump, again,
getting ahead of it
and causing Alvin Bragg to say, ooh, wait a minute, what am I doing here? And now this additional witness who the hell knows?
Who the hell knows?
All I know is I want you to go to Smerconish.com and cast a ballot on today's poll question of the day, which asks whether this is going to help or hurt him vis-a-vis the nomination. Will indicting Donald Trump in connection with the 7-year-old hush money payment about sex help or hurt his pursuit of the GOP nomination? Posted at Smerconish.com today is a really good TikTok reminder of the whole Stormy Daniels case. So you'll want to check that out. TC, what else from the Smerconish.com headlines catches your eye today?
Well, you just said TikTok, and that kind of reminds me to go through the other poll results from the weekend. So Friday's poll results with almost 21,000 votes. Should TikTok be banned in the United States? 75% said yes. So I thought that was interesting.
Shocking.
Huge.
Because totally at odds with Rich Tow's focus group of Wisconsin swing voters who said no. We want to look at our stupid videos.
Right.
What's the issue?
Huge voting on Saturday, 43,423. You asked about whether the military support being given to Ukraine by U.S. and NATO intended to defend against Russia or actually win the war. And
that was the John Bolton question.
Exactly. 71% said defend.
John Bolton writing in the Wall Street Journal, Putin has masterfully deterred NATO from responding robustly enough to end the conflict promptly and victoriously. Mr. Biden, here, a key line, Mr. Biden wants Russia to lose, but seems afraid of Ukraine actually winning. And that's what inspired me to say, wait a minute, what is the goal here? What have we been doing? Providing them enough just to defend themselves or to actually win? And 70+% said defend.
And then yesterday's poll question, over 14,000 votes on a Sunday. Which will be first to fill out a perfect bracket? You asked AI, humans, or neither, and neither won the day with 67%. I would vote that way.
AI nearly double the number who thought that it would be a human.
That's true, too. But there are no more perfect brackets left this year. I mean, just none. I think I saw that ESPN, before Purdue lost, had 22 out of 20 million perfect brackets left, and then Purdue lost and all hell broke loose. So, yeah. So also at Smerconish.com, you have two really interesting pieces about mental health. One about Governor Newsom's proposal expanding treatments for mental illness and addiction. That one from the ABC News affiliate out in California. And one about the Ted Lasso cast visiting the White House today to discuss mental health with President Biden, which I thought was really cool.
California is the home to 40 million people. They've got nearly 1/3 of the nation's homeless population in that state. So it's really an issue. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it in San Francisco. I've seen it in Los Angeles. I've been to Skid Row in Los Angeles, and I've been to the Tenderloin District in San Francisco to see and report on it for CNN. So a lot of great headlines today at Smerconish.com on very disparate subjects. That's what we strive for. I try to provide 20 different aggregated links from 20 different sources. Sometimes today included, I'll have to double up on a particular outlet, but I'm trying to provide balance each and every day. So please subscribe to the daily newsletter. Every day by 8 a.m. Eastern time, you're going to have on your smartphone that you can just scroll through an overview of what's going on in the world as I have assembled it for you. And it's my show prep. Go vote at Smerconish.com on today's poll question. Can't wait to see what tomorrow is going to bring. See ya.